One of them do-over days. Us DIY guys don't enjoy a do-over day. But what happened was, when I bought the car, the guy had given me a brand new master cylinder. But it wasn't wrapped or anything, it was just the cylinder in its raw form. And it looked old, but never used, so I didn't think anything of it, and I put it in when I did the pan. And now that I have all the brake lines hooked up to it, I noticed the original brake light switches, the electric switches that go into it, were leaking. And the very top, where you connect the hose to the white barbed fittings, the seals were dried out and it was leaking around there. So I have to go and redo that, but now it'll be a little tougher because, of course, it's in the car and I got the body on. But I did order a new empty set, and I got new brake light switches. So we should be in good shape. Just one of them jobs we don't really care for. I'll take you along with me for the ride. Hang in there. Well, there it is. You can see the top is leaking where the hoses go in. Where they're touching the seals, it's wicking up the brake hose. I put a clamp on the first one thinking that that was the original leak and it needed a clamp and it would stop it. But it didn't. It started leaking from both sides. And then the fittings where the brake lines go in are good. But these guys, when it had fluid in it, were leaking out the electrical end. So the diaphragm inside must be shot. And the same with the seals in where the hoses connect to the barb fittings. But we're gonna do our best to pull that out of there now. I'm using a 15/16 socket to take the electrical switches out. And brake lines are, I believe, 12 millimeter. Yes, they are 12 millimeter. I'll use a wrench for brake lines. If you notice, there's a drip coming out of the electrical end of it. That's the situation I'm in. Okay, we're gonna change them and make it all good. There was a little bit of fluid left in the system. I took the first one out. I would like to try and hold it so you can watch, but I really can't hold the camera under here and work under here. So I'm gonna just do it and then show you what I did. Okay, step one, took the electrical switches out first because it makes it easier to loosen and remove the brake lines themselves. Okay, we're all disconnected, ready to remove. Gotta remove the two bolts from the inside yet though. That's my next mission. Be a little tough. Okay, moving to the inside. Now I gotta remove those two bolts that are there. Shouldn't be hard. Not as tough as I thought. I could get at the bolts fairly easy. I'm holding the camera, but it's probably shaky as can be. Okay, one bolt, now one more. Well, there's the culprit. I believe the seals on the top are leaking and the electrical switches that go down on the bottom. Time to prep the new one. Well, I got the new one bolted in, but as you can see, I had to pull out the pedal assembly. So I got to put that back in, then I'll get back to you. Okay, the pedals are back in. I had to take them out so I could put the plunger into the master cylinder from the brake pedal. We're all good. Now I'm going to go back underneath and hook that all back up. Okay, as you can see, new master cylinder's in. First, I'll hook up the lines. You don't want to put the pressure switches in yet because then you won't be able to tighten up the lines. So you want to do the lines first and the pressure switches last. Here we go. Okay, the brake lines are attached. Next will be the pressure switches. Well, the pressure switches are in. Lastly will be the brake lines. I'm going to put clamps on them just to be on the safe side. Okay, the hoses are connected now. I got the clamps on, even though I believe you don't really need them because the hoses fit on that bar pretty tight. I actually used a little silicone and slipped them on. Okay, now to the next move, filling up the reservoir again. Okay, you're finally going to get to see me do something. I have the camera on the tripod. Going to fill a brake reservoir. I'm pretty sure we have to use .3, and I choose Prestone. Okay, a little bit later, I'll be bleeding them with my assistant that doesn't like to be on camera, so you're going to miss out on that. We're going to move to the next project as soon as I figure out what that's going to be. See you in a bit. Well, it's break time, and I just want to say it's also eclipse time. And here in Scranton, Pennsylvania, we're heavily clouded, so we're not going to get a chance to see the eclipse. But, you know, I would love to know how many people do see it. You know, maybe you could leave it in the comments. Let me know where you're from and about what time you saw it. All right, thanks a lot. I got to get back to work.